G'day, Chief. Welcome to the Inner Chief podcast and this special episode, which we call the Mini Chief. These are short, sharp highlights from our fabulous CEO guests, where you get a 5 to 10 minute snapshot of the highlights from their episode. Righto, Chief. Without further ado, here is the Mini Chief episode for this week with Chief Growth Officer at Australian Computer Society, Siobhan O'Sullivan.
So HR normally is, I used to have fun when in my 20s when I was single. I'd go into bars if, you're meeting people and they'd say, oh, what do you do? And I'd say, what, have a guess. And, marketing and no. And what part of the business do you really hate? And everyone would recall and say, oh, don't tell me you work in HR. That's terrible. And I go, yep, I'm a HR person. Interestingly for me, though, HR as it's practiced normally is not as per its discipline. It's normally an arbiter between the employer and the employee to get a win-win kind of outcome within the business. And rarely is it practitioned that way. It's normally an advocate of the employer, normally to the detriment of the employee. And I was not that way. I was very principled about how I wanted to operate in that space. And again, I worked, after leaving Liverpool Council, I worked with Armaguard intentionally in a blue-collar warehousing logistics type environment, because both my parents had come out of blue-collar environments and their experiences in a workplace was very negative, and their negativity had infused the home.
So what advice would you give for HR professionals now if they're listening? Because you make a very good point there about the role of HR. Can you explain to them how they can make some changes to be more effective in their role?
It's obviously more omnipresent when you're dealing with a unionised environment, and particularly strong unions. And I had exposure to helping negotiate and deal with the Transport Workers Union in my experiences with Armaguard. And there's a sense of adversarialness between employers and union environments where things are never delivered in a win-win. And people, and I did a lot, I'm quite a curious person, and I would read lots about how works councils in Germany, for instance, deliver great workplace environments for both employers and employees. And our model could be enhanced. The way we dealt with unions, particularly in Australia, I didn't think was best of breed. So I was always of the opinion we could do things a bit better, and it was very important for me for people to go home feeling valued and that they'd contributed in however that, whether it be a forklift driver or whatever it was. You need to be, people don't often aspire when they're a kid to be a forklift driver in a warehouse. Circumstances got them there, and now they've got a job and they've got bills to pay. So I think if you are in a unionised environment, think about where you get middle road, a win-win, regardless of what the employer is wanting to get an outcome on, and, cut some headcount and do this and do that. It's not always about that. It's see the bigger picture. What are you trying to do as a business? And it's obviously to have a successful business that continue to grow and pay wages to everybody. So how do you navigate that course? And if you've got a solution that you think is valid, push that up the line. Propose that solution.
Exactly, because very often I think HR professionals underestimate the strategic value or the strategic opinion they can bring to the table, because they are the experts in people.
Yeah.
And performance of people, right? So sometimes they stay a bit quiet when they should say a bit more.
Yeah, I've probably been a bit more seasoned in not talking back and challenging the status quo and asking questions. It's just part of my DNA. So
Really?
Yeah. I remember asking the family priest when I was about 7 about why he wasn't allowed to marry. I said, but you'd be the perfect person to marry. You're apparently married to God and you're this perfect person. He goes, oh no, I've got a job. I'm like, yeah, but my mum's got a job. She's married and she's a worker and she's a mum and she's a sister and she's a daughter. I said, she's got a plate full. Why don't you load your plate up? He looked at me going, well, where did this girl come from? I think I was about 6. So yeah, I've always challenged concepts.
Righto, Chief. There you have it for this week with our Mini Chief episode. Chiefs, all the links and resources to Siobhan's episode can be found at chiefmaker.com/314. And if you'd like to stay in touch with Chief Maker, just go to chiefmaker.com/subscribe. Now, Chief, do you want to go on a journey where your leadership shifts from being intuitive to being practical, systemised, and inspiring? That is the way one of our students has described the Mini MBA, a transformational program where we work with you on your business to systemise the way you lead and to get results. So much so that I guarantee results. If you're not happy with the program, I'll give you 100% of your money back. In fact, The NPS for the program is over 91. That absolutely, to be honest, it belts our opposition. I think the best in the market wouldn't even be just over 70. So we are absolutely leading the game in a program that matches the most cutting-edge material in the market with cutting-edge coaching skills. And that is where so much of the other programs in the market fall over. They can't do both. They're not bad at coaching or they're not bad at materials. We're the best at both. Righto, Chief, if you want to get involved, check out chiefmaker.com/mini-MPA. Righto, Chief, as always, remember to stay